This is Sanjeev Mahindra, and you are listening to Blogging Monthly. Subscribe to the podcast to get all the latest news and updates around blogging. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Blogging Monthly. Last month have been very busy, not only because of pandemic, but also due to certain updates from Google. Google has not only released a new SERP update, but also updated Webmaster tools to include various new reports. They have also suggested using the new core Webb Vitals report to check the health of your site, as later this year they will start using those signs for SERP. So let's start taking a deep dive into each of those topics. To start with, let's discuss Google SERP update for May 2020. Google has released a major SERP update last month. The update started rolling out somewhere around 4th of May and got completed around May 18th. One of the major core updates after what we have seen in last September. This update has given a lot of fluctuation in the first page rankings. Even worse, many webmasters have reported that their first page rankings were moved down to 9th or 10th page. Google's official response is similar to any other core update, that the webmasters can't do much about it other than creating user-friendly content. Though the rating shufflings across the industry is huge for this update. You can check the chart from SEMrush on SERP variations for last month. I have made that chart available in the show notes. So who is winning and losing in this SERP update? Let's talk about my sites first. Last time when I talked about COVID-19 impact on blogging in our last episode, I told that I am seeing an increase in the traffic on a few pages. Those pages are related to how you can work from home or things you need to set up a home office. There was a surge of almost 100% increase in traffic on those pages. But with this update, I have lost that surge. I checked and most of the traffic loss is due to the lost rankings. Some of my keywords where I was ranking in the top 3 have moved out of the first page. Though on Metablog, the impact is minimal and I have not lost much of the traffic with this update. Small ranking changes, but some of the pages have also improved, which has kept the overall traffic about the same. So that's about my sites, but what's happening with overall industry? The update was not targeted to any specific geographic or niche. The impact is worldwide and felt across niches. The major gainers looks like news articles that have started getting more prominent locations on the front page. Along with news, another major change is for online forums. Many webmasters have reported that they are seeing the online forum pages gaining in the SERP. Articles are being replaced with more user-generated content on the first page of search results. So what happened with your sites? If you are seeing any impact, please drop a note and let me know. So what can we do to recover from it? If you are seeing an impact, as per Google, there is not much a webmaster can do to recover its ranking. In my view, the guidelines which we talked about few episodes back still holds true. The first step is to assess where you have lost the rankings. Once you know that, it's about updating the content, improving the user information value in those articles, and cleaning up your backlink profiles. These are some of the steps which you can take to gain your rankings back. Now since the rollout is already complete and we have started seeing signs of small SERP changes for June, it's a good time to start on the recovery process. Now let's go to the next topic of Core Webb Vitals. Google has also updated its Webmaster tools to rename the page speed report to Core Webb Vitals report. The report will show some of the core parameters for web pages. According to Webb Vital team, Webb Vital is an initiative by Google to provide unified guidance for quality signals that are essential to delivering a great user experience on the web. So the idea behind this report is to show the health of a site from a user interaction perspective. Though the definition and parameters are still developing, Google is focusing on 3 key elements in 2020: loading speed, interactivity, and visual stability. They have come up with 3 different metrics to measure the performance for these 3 elements: largest contentful paint, first input delay, and cumulative layout shift. These will start becoming a ranking parameter in sometime 2021, so the webmasters have some time to understand and implement the recommendations. How are they measuring it? The metrics are not completely new. They had some of those already in their page speed insight. They have combined a few of those parameters to start calculating the feedback differently. So let's look at each individual metrics. The first one is LCP, largest contentful paint. It is the time taken to render the largest content in the viewport. This shows how good your loading time is and how fast your user can start interacting with your site. The second is FID, first input delay, which is the time taken to react to user interaction. So if a user clicks on a link, then how long it takes for the browser to take action on that link. And the third one is CLS, cumulative layout shift. It is a metric that calculates the content shift once you think content is loaded on the screen. There can be multiple reasons, like your lazy loading scripts are not blocking the space for images, or ads are getting inserted dynamically. You should check the WordPress plugins and services you use for your site. The basic data for these metrics will be collected from the Chrome User Experience Report. These are actual users who have opted to share user statistics for Chrome. Though you can see these reports in the Webmaster tool, it's better to enable your own ways to measure the performance. There are a few different ways you can measure it. The easiest and non-technical way is through a Chrome extension. You can install the Core Web Vital extension and it will report the metrics as you browse through the internet. You can even use this extension to see the Web Vital performance across your niche. It can show the performance across any page on internet. So it will be a good way to check how your competitors are doing for these metrics. I have left a link in the show notes for the plugin if you want to check it out. There are few other ways to measure Core Web Vitals like JavaScript APIs, which can be used if you are familiar with some of the coding methods. Many of my sites are doing fine on these metrics except CLS. Many of my pages have CLS higher than 0.25. It's coming around 0.32, but it's higher than a recommended value. I checked those pages and there is only Google Auto Ads which is causing the content to shift. So it looks like Google tools are still needed to incorporate some of their own recommendations. For now, I would not worry about minor variations in the result, but we'll keep an eye on the metrics. If you want to know more about Core Web Vital, I have left a link for a web.dev site where they have detailed tutorials on Core Web Vitals. Now let's move to our third topic, WordPress updates, WordPress themes and plugin updates. WordPress has just released their latest update as WordPress 5.4.2. This is a minor update which provides some security fixes and maintenance fixes. This update should be installed automatically on most of the site. If not, you can go ahead and update your site to get the latest fixes. The next update is from StudioPress. StudioPress has released a new optional plugin for its customers called Genesis Pro. This plugin will extend the functionality of the Genesis framework and provides a pre-designed page and section layouts for Gutenberg editor. Customer will be able to use those layouts or sections to easily design their site. Since the plugin is optional, it is not available to their Pro Plus customer at this time. You can check the video which is there in the show notes to see the Genesis Pro in action. Since most of the WordPress themes are now going towards a visual editing, this is StudioPress take on Genesis framework visual editing. Genesis Pro is offered as a $360 per year offering, which includes 35 StudioPress themes, 1 year site hosting on WP Engine, that's for one site, along with Genesis Pro plugin. The package makes sense if you are planning to buy a new Genesis Pro Plus package, but people like me who already are a member, this does not make much sense at this time. Thrive Themes also has some good updates for their plugins and themes. in this month. One of the major update is towards table of content element in Thrive Architect or Thrive Theme Builder. The element now comes with new designs and user interaction settings which can make it look more integrated to your site. People using Thrive Theme Builder can easily add it to theme templates to display it across categories or posts. If you add it to theme template, the content will be loaded automatically for each post. You can also mark the element sticky, which means it will always float with the user and can give an indication where your user is at any point of time. Another update is towards the header and mega menu. Now you can easily set the split menu with logo in middle of the header while building the layout. Also, the mega menu drop down item width can be set independently. These are some of the items which Thrive Theme community was asking for some time, and they have made it available in these updates.
So this brings us to the close of this episode. Is there something else you would like to listen or like us to cover as part of this Blogging Monthly series? Please write us to bm.feedback@metablog.com. I will just repeat it once again. BM, B for blogging, M for monthly. So bm.feedback@metablog.com. If you have any tips for the news around blogging, you can also send it to us on bm.tips@metablog.com. You can always connect with us on Twitter or Facebook. On Twitter, we are available at twitter.com/metablog, and on Facebook, facebook.com/metablog.